on fire.
Hey guys, it's LegoMatic9. Today I'm going to be showing you the first of a few custom LEGO builds I've made recently. This is the Trade Federation AAT, or Armored Assault Tank, from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Now, The Phantom Menace was the first Star Wars movie I ever saw, and granted, it's not my favorite, but for some reason, this vehicle stuck with me. Just throughout my entire childhood, I just absolutely loved this tank. So, as I'm going through the process of building my favorite Star Wars ships, which is a process I started years ago with the custom X-Wing I made, and then the Millennium Falcon, and then finally I'm picking it back up with this. This is one of the ones I was really, really excited about doing, just because I haven't had a good AAT in my collection, like, ever. Now, it's no secret that I suck at building, so this model was designed by a guy on Flickr named Mr. Idler, if I'm getting that right. A link to his page will be in the description, and if you're interested in actually building this model for yourself, you can download the Bricklink Studio file for free, actually, along with the parts list by clicking the other link in the description as well. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a better look at this custom AAT. I think we'll start with a 360 look and some size comparisons before we get into all of the little features and stuff with this tank, just so you guys can see this thing from all angles and see how it stacks up with some other vehicles and some figures. So, start off with just the profile shot here. You guys can see that. We'll go to the back, so you guys can see the, I guess, the fuel cells and just the, like the troop door or whatever that is down there. And then we'll move it around to the other side, and then we'll get a nice head-on shot right here of the tank. Just looks great. I think this, like the center part, is one of my favorite aspects of this tank, just because LEGO hasn't done anything else similar to that to get a nice shaping for just the unique cockpit section of the tank. So let's go ahead and bring some figures in here real quick so you can see how this stacks up. So here's just a Battle Droid Commander right here. So I'm pretty sure this is minifigure scale. I don't know why it wouldn't be. It might just be a little stubby in some areas, but, you know, I think it works. We'll go ahead and take a clone trooper and put him on this side as well. But yeah, I think the scale definitely works with this. I don't have any of the other LEGO AATs either built or just never had them in my possession. So we'll go ahead and just bring another tank in here of sorts. This is the most recent TX-130 tank from LEGO. So you can see these side by side right here. So, you know, I think they work pretty well. I think this tank is pretty small, at least people thought it was small, but compared to this, I think it actually looks pretty nice. They stack up nicely. So yeah, I think that scale works pretty well. Now we can focus on some of the details and the hidden features and stuff with this build. Starting off with the front, they just utilized the old 2000, was it just the year 2000 when the first AAT came out for Phantom Menace? Yeah, use these parts on here, and I'm so happy to actually get these, because that first AAT was one of the sets I always wanted to get, and I never got it. So I'm really happy to actually have these on this set here. It just looks so nice. And on the other side as well. So these are printed. They're not stickered. You can buy them off Bricklink. I think I got them for like $1.50 each or something like that. So they're kind of pricey, but you know, it's nothing too bad. It's not going to break the bank. Moving up, the cockpit section, like I said earlier, is one of my favorite parts of this, just because I don't think LEGO has achieved the correct shape of the AAT, because it has that weird-looking cockpit. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just this weird-looking shape, and nobody else has really gotten that design down. And this is the first one I've seen where I've just been like, wow, damn, that looks really good. So that's one of the reasons why I built this particular model, just because it got this front section right. I just absolutely love all the shaping, just the building techniques and stuff incorporated with this. We've moved this dish up here. You can just see it's kind of complicated in there. Kind of have to wedge these off to see it better, but you guys can check that out in the studio file if you guys are interested in that to get a better look at the internals on this thing. Has the two guns up front. Moving up here, it's got the two guns on the side here, which do rotate, but I mean they're kind of on this 1x1 plate, so they kind of don't really want to lock into position unless they're forward. So that's kind of what you want there. Moving to the back here, there's those fuel cells, like I was saying earlier, with some nice detail. Now this piece up here does not come in tan, because this definitely should be in tan, and it likes falling off a lot. So that's one of my issues with this, is just that this thing, I don't know if it's just because the stud is weak because it's tan or whatever. Other studs worked fine with it, but yeah, this part is just really loose. And this part should come in tan, hopefully shortly, because that part's getting used a lot more. But once that comes out in tan, or even in a dark tan, it would look pretty nice. Moving up here to the turret. This thing does have some posability. It can spin 360 degrees, no problem. I can move up a little bit as well. We go ahead and just move that up. You can go up about, you know, that far. Zoom in a little bit, move up about that far. And we want to move it down. Move down that far when it's resting like that. Or if you want to bring it down to the side, you can move down about that far, which is, I think, about how far it moves in universe. I don't want to get too technical with that, but yeah, I think that's accurate. You're not going to have it pointing down that much anyway. Other details incorporated this are the little hatch up top, so you can lift this guy up, but it's kind of hard to get a battle droid up there. If we take our droid commander, and if we peg his feet in, if they want to peg in like that, you can see he's pretty tall in this thing. If we kind of move this guy back and zoom out a little bit, you can just see how kind of tall he looks in there. So that's kind of an issue, but I'm never going to have him displayed like this in there. Would be kind of cool, but I don't really plan on doing that. You could, if you wanted to, like, bend his feet back a little bit and kind of, I don't know, try to cram him in there, but it doesn't really give you that much difference in height, and he kind of just wobbles around a lot. So that's a bummer, but, you know, it's nothing too bad. Also, the positioning of the hatch is kind of weird because it's not really centered in the turret. It should be moved back a little bit, but it's just because it needs this space right here for this cannon to move back like that, or else it would run into the plates and stuff that would be there normally. So I get why I did that, and I think that's just better than having the plate move back and not having that function, because that's pretty crucial. This has an antenna back here and just some nice shaping using some of these curved slopes and some of these round tiles. If we move the camera down a little bit, we can take a look at this back hatch here. So we can look at the other main feature incorporated with this. Down just a little bit more. So he did incorporate a little cockpit on this guy. If we lift this up, you can see there's this bottom of the seat poking out, and you can pull this out. It's kind of a tight fit, but it comes out. And so here is the pilot battle droid and his little seat, the little control panel right there, printed piece. So that's just a cool little feature. He incorporated that, a nice little homage to, I think, the 2008 AAT had that from the Clone Wars, or 2009, whenever that one came out. So we can go ahead and put that back in there. Just pegs right in and stays in there nice and firmly. But yeah, that is pretty much it for all of the kind of just the features and the details incorporated with this tank. It's an AAT. It's not going to have a bunch of play functions. It does what it needs to do. It has the rotating turret, and it's got the cockpit, which is more than I could ask for. But yeah, this thing, I mainly built it for display, and that's what this thing looks like. It looks like a monster. Just the absolute best looking AAT out there. If you guys can't tell, I'm really fond of this model. I think it's the best AAT design out there that I've seen. So if you guys are interested in building one for yourself, go ahead and check out Mr. Idler's page. Link will be in the description. You guys can also download the Bricklink Studio file for this, so you guys can figure out how to build it from there, get the parts list. It's about 400 pieces, I think, give or take. I think it's more like 380 or something around there. Or maybe it's like 415, I can't remember, honestly, I forget. But it cost me about $50 to build just by buying all of the parts from Bricklink. I didn't take any from my collection. So if you guys are wanting to buy all the parts from there, it will cost about that much, which I think is worth it because this thing is an amazing display piece. Probably the best design for an AAT out there. So if you guys are interested, check it out there. I do have a few more ships to show you guys, including the ARC 170 and the Delta 7 Starfighter. I have both of those done, so those will have videos coming out shortly for the next few weeks. And then I plan on making a couple other ones too, like the Azure Angel, the Vulture Droid, and the Naboo Starfighter. But it'll be a while before I make those three, but I do want to get to those relatively soon. Now that's all I have to show you guys for this custom AAT. Let me know what you guys think of this MOC down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.